Okay, this is going to be a video comparing some discrepancies in Buzz Lightyear, specifically focused on the wings. I'm going to be comparing them to stills from Toy Story 3, and you're going to kind of see an interesting thing that the animators did in Toy Story 3 at the end, and I'm going to show you also an interesting thing that happened earlier in the movie and show you how that correlates with what I'm talking about. But so this is my signature collection Buzz. I have video on here repairing him a little bit because he had some problems when I got him. The stuff that I used to kind of deaden the scratches a little bit on the helmet, it does leave kind of bigger streaks, because what that's doing is it's putting more small scratches in it to wear down the old scratches. That's just kind of how clear plastic gets polished to be clear, I guess. It's kind of how it works. If you shine a light on any Buzz figure, brand new out of the box, you can see there's little circular small scratches all over it. That's just the way they get it clear, I think, and even it out and everything. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but so if you're going to use that stuff on your Buzz, because I recommended that you could, just know that that's a possibility. But it's really hard to tell unless it's under really bright light. If it's under really bright light, you can see it, and it's not as unsightly as the huge scratches were, and I can still see this big chunks of scratch on this. I wish you could still get new globes for this guy from Thinkway, but I don't think you can anymore since they don't make them. So, but it is what it is. They get scratched. So anyway, okay. So first off, I want you to look at the wings that we got going here, and I'm gonna try, just for fun, I'm gonna try and mimic a little bit the pose Buzz is in, just a little bit, in this scene in the movie. I can't mimic it exactly because actually the Buzz in the movie, another thing here is these little holes where the screws are. The Buzz in the movie, those holes are off to the side here, and his arm is down. And because of the way that they have the arm joint in here, you can't move his arm down with that hole up. It doesn't work. So that's not movie accurate. In the movie, his arm can go down even with this screw hole up, but you see where this is? That's the only direction that his arm can move back and forth. So you can't move his arm down with his sticker logo facing out. It has to be that way. So I can't mimic that part of the little pose he's in here, but I can kind of mimic it a little bit just for fun. We'll do that. Okay, it's close enough. It's not exact, but it's not bad. Okay. And his wings are out. So this is kind of the position that the toy is in the movie, give or take a little bit on his arms, because I can't move his arms that way, unfortunately. So get a good picture of this. You see where the end of his wings stop and everything. Okay, this is mainly about the wing length on this figure. Okay, so I don't know if he's gonna stay standing for me. I'm gonna lean him up. Okay, so that's what the collection series toy looks like. Okay, this is what the still in the movie looks like. Okay, so this is the still from Toy Story 3 where he's giving Buzz to Bonnie. As you can see from this, his wings stick out much further than they do on the signature collection. I talked about that in my comparison video where I'm comparing 3 Buzzes, Talking Buzz Signature Collection Buzz and Disney Store Buzz. They need at least an extra inch of length on the wing for it to be movie accurate according to the manual that is shown in Toy Story 3. So if I quoted this still as being from Toy Story 3. I misspoke. This is no, I didn't misspeak. What am I thinking? I'm losing my mind. It's okay. Okay. No. Yes. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's been a long day. Anyway. Anyway. So as you can see, the wings are way, 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 way longer in this still, in this pose. And I've kind of copied the pose here the best I can. And we go over here, and this is what we have in the figure. So you can see the difference. And in this still, I mean, the wings look even longer than they should be according to the manual and the length that I checked in my other video. They look much longer than even, it looks like they are in the manual. Because from, what I checked, a little bit over an inch of extra length on the end of these wings would match up to the manual that the bookworm gets out. There's a picture up in the corner where it shows Buzz's length. He's turned, his back's facing you, and it's got his arm outstretched, so you can see exactly how long his wing is supposed to be in relation to his arm being straight out. And the wing's supposed to end about at the purple part there of his hand with his arm straight out, which it does not. But look at the difference here in the wings. Let's see. I mean, and this is supposed to be the most movie accurate. And I think they could get that extra length on there easily. I mean, the first part of the wing in this, talking about this right here, that looks about right as far as the movie and where it ends. It looks pretty close to right, okay? Where they messed up here is this. This is not anywhere near as far out as it needs to be. And honestly, you're saying, well, there's not enough room maybe for it to go in the backpack or whatever, and I mentioned that in the other video. But if they lengthened this part just a little bit, out to about here, which is, more or less probably where it's at in the movie. I mean, that part's close to being right, and his arms are down a little bit, so I really can't compare that really well. But if they lengthened this part to be just out about this far, I mean, that would give them more room to get this tucked away inside there for when it folds in the backpack. And then they could add the extra length onto this part. It needs about an inch or so of extra length. And it could be exactly movie length. So I don't know why they didn't do that. It's kind of irritating, really. But they did do something else after this scene, which is interesting. It's kind of like they're saying, well, we've kind of overplayed our hand here on the Buzz wing length in this movie, and we're having a hard time replicating it for whatever reason. So we have a plan, and I'm going to show you what they did next. Okay, so now in this scene, when they're all sitting down there by Bonnie, if you look at Buzz, you notice that his wings are drooping more now. They're not as nice and straight and long as they were before, so they're drooping more now, which looks closer to the signature Buzz. Again, his arms are bending down in a way that you can't do with the signature Buzz. You can't do it. So it's, if you could bend them that way, this scene would be really close to the way the wingspan looks on the actual signature, but they changed it from the scene when Andy had his wings out to when he sat him down on the ground. And as you can see, they're drooping down more. They're not as straight, and they don't look as long either. It looks way, way, way more like the signature Buzz in this scene sitting down by Bonnie. It still looks like the wings are sticking out further, but part of that reason is because of the way the arms on the toy in the movie still are. Again, they're bent down, turned out, and bent down further than you can do with the actual toy, so that makes the wings look a little bigger in this still. But they changed this from that scene to this scene, and I think they did that on purpose because it looks more like what they produced with the signature line of Buzz Lightyear, and they wanted it to match that more. Okay? So we go back over to here and we'll zoom out a little bit and zoom back in. And as you can see, like I said, I can't get his arms down as far as they are in that still. It just doesn't move down that far. But as you can see, the way that the wings are slightly drooping on mine, just a little bit. This is a cloud version, so the wings are pretty darn straight. But there is a little bit of a V to them. That's just the way these are. And then you go back to this still again, and you see how they did that from the still that I just got done talking about before, and how nice and straight they were and long. And now they're drooping a little bit and look shorter. They still appear in the still longer than what they are on here. And again, part of that's because his arms are down further, I think. But they definitely changed the look of the toy once he set it down on the ground by Bonnie, which is interesting. Now I want to show you another scene regarding his wings in this movie that I find interesting, and talk about it. All right, so this is Buzz in Toy Story 3 after the rough playtime at Sunnyside. You can see here from this that this looks like they digitized basically the Signature series as far as the wings are concerned. I mean, they're much shorter. They're not fully extended here, and it's made to look, like he's kind of beat up and whatnot. But looking at this still, it looks more like, his wings aren't as long as they make them look in all the other scenes. They're kind of hanging down a little bit and they're halfway in. It's also funny that they make this wing hanging down a little bit lower in this scene, because most of the Buzz Signature series, especially the Yellow Label ones, this wing on him does hang lower just when they're popped out in general. So it's just interesting. It's just something to think about when you're looking at the still. This is interesting. I just noticed this before. Huh. I wonder if that's made like that. That's weird. Okay, so I was going to try and replicate. That's interesting. Huh. How about that? I wonder why that's like that. Might have to get my other Buzz out and see, but this is... Is there even a... There's one in there, but it's not as... Huh. Okay, I just noticed something weird. I'll talk about it here in a minute. But I was just trying to kind of stick in his wings, but... Here, I'll show you. Alright, so coming back over to my Buzz. As you see, you can kind of do this to make it look, kind of like that. There's spring there, so I can't really make it stick down like that, but if I made that stick down a little bit, looks like the movie still. Okay, come over here. This wing, I was going to do the same thing with this one. This one has a lot of spring tension in it. There's like a spring in this side to pop that out all the way, which is interesting because this side doesn't have that going on. It's got a little tension, bouncy tension way back in here, but it's not as far out. This one is like spring tensioned all the way out, so that's interesting. Are all Buzzes like that? If you have a collection Buzz, it doesn't matter what label it is, and you're watching this video and you want to pull it out, check it and let me know. I'm just kind of curious. Does I'm looking at Buzz right now, so this would be my right side. If you were thinking about Buzz looking at you, this would be his left side. Is Buzz's left side, or with you looking at him, your right side wing, when you push in on it like this, is that really spring loaded? Like that's a strong spring in there. And then this other side, this side, isn't. See, I can just, and there's no spring. Well, there's a little spring tension once I get way up here, but it has to go in pretty far for the spring tension. But on this wing, it's just strong spring tension. I want to check out my talking buzz now that I've found this out. I'm gonna have to pull him out real quick. And pop his wings out. I want to see if that tension is there on both wings or not, or if it's the same as this one. So I'll be right back. I'm going off onto something completely different here, so I apologize, but we'll continue the video in a minute. Okay, so I got my talking buzz out just for giggles, and these both have, in the end of them, they do have spring tension. It's not as strong as the spring in the one side of this one, but they both have it, and they both pop the wing out on the end when they open. So I'm curious if yours are like mine, or maybe my spring in that one side of the wing is faulty or something. It is there, but it's not there, you know, like the other one. If you look at it, you'll see what I'm talking about. But I just wanted to give that a look-see. So, but this one has it on both. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know, just a interesting thing I noticed. I'll be right back again. Okay, so that's just kind of, I just wanted to talk about, I think it's interesting that they did that specifically, you know, like the scene at the end and this scene where I know he's supposed to be looking like he's beat up, but I mean, that just the way his wings look, it doesn't look like they could possibly be as long as they usually are in the movie. However, they still made them that long when Andy popped them out, and then once they sat the buzz down with Bonnie, they changed the way the wings looked so it resembled more closely the Signature series, or even just the talking buzzes that they've released, as far as the way that they look when they're out. So that's just kind of, you know, I'm wondering if they're just kind of saying, you know, we can't make these wings exactly right, but I think they can. Where there's a will, there's a way. So anyway, that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about. And another thing that I forgot to mention, a detail that nothing I have or seen has, is that on the wings on Buzz, and I would show a still, but I'll let you guys kind of look for it because it might be kind of more fun for you to search for it, but it's there. He also has a little swoop that goes like, it starts like up here by this line and it goes down to here. He has that on the inside of his wing too. And no Buzz has included that detail in the wing. So, you know, I'm just kind of making videos critiquing details and things and comparing them to the movie stills. But anyway, so it's just, you know, it's interesting comparison thing to look at as far as movie accuracy in the wings. So also, of course, in the movie, his jetpack is way thinner and everything. But anyway, thanks for watching, and be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get updated when I upload new videos. And I'm wanting to do a giveaway once I get to 1,000 subscribers, or real close to 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to get something for free, please subscribe. Alrighty, I will be back with another video shortly. Thank you.